Good afternoon, children. We will move to the next chapter, chapter 8, right? That is the vital villages and the thriving towns. So, after you have seen the past, till now we have seen about the past, about how the British ruled us and all. Now we will see. You had seen about the history and all. In that you have seen, you have read the story of the Ashoka, the Buddhism, Jainism, how it developed in our country and all. Now we will move to the vital villages, means important villages and the thriving towns, upcoming towns of our country. Let us see iron tools and agriculture. So this is very important. With the iron tools in the olden days, they were doing the agriculture. Let us see. We often take the use of iron for granted today. Yes, we always take what we do. We take the use of iron granted today. Things made of iron and steel are a part of our daily lives. Yes, whatever the items which are made up of the iron and steel, that has become the part of our life. For example, the utensils, are made up of the iron and steel. The water bottles, iron and steel, right? Whatever the windows, the doors, so lot of things, even the buildings, they are made up of the iron and steel. So for our daily life, the knife which we are using, it is made up of the iron and steel. Very simple tool. The knives you are having, the scissors you are having in your home, these are all the simple tools which we are using in our daily life, right? The stove, gas stove, iron and steel, the utensils, right? So many things. ಪಾತ್ರೆಗಳು, ಭಾಂಡೆಗಳ, ರಗಡದವ್ರಿ ಕತ್ರಿಗಳು, ಚಾಕು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟವ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅದರಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥದ್ರಿ ಐರನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್, ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಡೈಲಿ ಯೂಸ್. ದಿನ ಬಳಕೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೀವಿ. The use of iron began in the subcontinent around 3000 years ago. So don't think that today it has been started. ನಮ್ಮ ಮುತ್ತಜ್ಜಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿಯಿಂದ ಶುರು ಆಗೈತೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ಯದ್ರಿ. ಅರೌಂಡ್ 3000 years ago it has been started. Some of the largest collections of iron tools and weapons were found in the megalithic burials about which you read in chapter 4. So in the chapter 4 we have seen there were lot of iron tools and weapons in order to hunt the animals. They were using it, right? That had found where in the megalithic burials. We have seen that in those around 3000 years ago only we saw that the iron weapons were used. Around 2500 years ago there is evidence for growing use of iron tools. So 2500 years ago, so after 500 years, what the development we saw was there were the use of the iron tools andre indi salakaranegadu. So what were they? These included axes, kodli, for clearing the forest. In order to cut the forest, they were using the axes. And the iron plowshare ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉಳಾಕ್ರಿ, iron idun. You can see here all these things are the tools. Photographs they have given, right? So plowing the land, iron circle, ulaka. As we had seen in the chapter 5, the plowshare was useful for increasing the agricultural production. To increase the agricultural productions, they had used the iron and steel, iron weapons, iron tools they had made in order to cut the forest and in order to irrigate the land, in order to produce the food grains. They had used increase in the agricultural production. For that they were using what? Agricultural tools. Other steps to increase production, irrigation. The kings and kingdoms you have been reading about could not have existed without the support of flourishing villages. Flourishing villages ಅಂದ್ರೆ with the support of flourishing villages ಇದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ kings ಮತ್ತು kingdoms they were prospering. because they were what the kings and kingdoms, how they were prospering, they were collecting the tax taxes, they were collecting the revenues from the farmers. And where the farmers were living? They were living in kingdoms? No, they were living where? They were living in the villages. So because of villages, we saw the prosperity of the kings and the kingdoms. While new tools and the system of transplantation increased production, irrigation was also used. So what happened with the flourishing villages? What we saw that there was a system of transplantation, increased production. What we saw is the increased production. Production got increasing because of the system of transplantation, means making the saplings instead of making the seeds to be making them to grow into a plant. What they were using, they started using the saplings method, where they started making small samples of the plants, and next that when the plant had grown, when the seed has grown to a small plant, that they were taking it and they were making that grow in their fields. So like this they had started, transplantation was started. Irrigation was also used. So next the system was the irrigation system was also used. Irrigation works that were built during this time included canals, wells, tanks and artificial lakes. So slowly they started doing the irrigation, well irrigation, tank irrigation, canal irrigation, and they started constructing what? Artificial lakes. If you look at the chart, you will find that some of the stages in the construction of irrigation works are mentioned. Fill in the rest by using the other phrases. Labor is provided by the people. Farmers also benefit because crop production is more certain. Farmers have to increase production to pay taxes. Kings provide money and plan irrigation works. So here all these things was there. Labors were provided by whom? By the people itself. And farmers were also getting benefited because their crops were increasing. And what happened? Farmers used to increase the production. How? When their production was increasing, they were paying the taxes to the king, and the king was providing them money, as well as they used to plan the irrigation works in the villages. So next is the thing, who lived in the villages. Then who were living in villages? There were at least 3 different kinds of people living in most villages in the southern and northern parts of the subcontinent. So what there were at least 3 kinds of people were living in the villages, both in the northern part of India also as well as the southern part of India. In the Tamil region, large land owners were known as the Vellalar. So these are the farmers, large landowners, or the zamindars you can say. They are called as the Vellalar. Ordinary plowmen were known as Uzhavar. So Uzhavar and the ordinary plowmen. Ordinary means the small farmers you can say. And landless laborers including slaves were known as Kardsiar and Adimayi. So these were called by these names. Means this is the Tamil language. In the Tamil they are called Vellalar for the zamindars, and for plowmen they were calling as the Uzavar, and for laborers, landless laborers or slaves, they were calling them as the Kadasiyar or the Adimayi. So you can see in the northern part of the country, the village headman was known as the Grama Bhojaka. So the village headman in the northern part of the India, then the village headman, the zamindar, was known as what? Grama Bhojaka. Usually men from the same family held the positions for generations. So the men, the eldest son, used to hold the same positions from generation to the generation. Ajjan nantra maga, magan nantra mammaga. Same position, all becoming the zamindars. In the other words, the post was hereditary. Hereditary andre ajja, muttajja ಕಾಲದಿಂದ generation ಇಂದ generationಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ವಂಶ what is that? ವಂಶದಿಂದ ವಂಶಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ರೀ? ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. right? The Grama Bhojaka was often the largest landowner. So Grama Bhojaka, what was he? He was often the largest landowner or the big landowner. Generally he had slaves and hired workers to cultivate the land. So what he was having? He was having the workers who were cultivating the land. Besides, as he was powerful, the king often used him to collect the taxes from the village. So as he was a powerful man, because he was a big zamindar, he was having the maximum land in the village, so the king often they appointed him to collect the taxes from the village. Because our powerful irtari, they used to have the huge lands in their hand, they are having the money also, then the king used to select that person only to collect the taxes from the village. He also functioned as a judge and sometimes as a policeman. So he also functioned what? As a judge, and sometimes he used to function as a policeman. Both the things he used to do in his area or in this village. You have seen many old movies, no, Dr. Rajkumar movies. If you watch that, there is there the head, the zamindar, or he is called as a sarpanch. He is giving justice to the people. Panchayati ಕಟ್ಟಿನಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ತಾರ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಗೈತಿ, ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡೋರು ಯಾರು? ಸರ್ಪಂಚರು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಊರಿನ ಮುಖಿಯ ಅಥವಾ ಊರಿನ ಹೆಡ್ಮನ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ? ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ಮನ್ ಏನಾರ ಒಂದೇನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಇದನ್ನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆಳುಗಳನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಆ ಊರಿನ ಭದ್ರತೆ, ಊರಿನ ಏನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಇವರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರ್ರಿ. Right. Apart from the Grama Bhojaka, there were other independent farmers known as Grihapatis. So there were some independent farmers also. They were known as the Grihapatis, most of whom were small landowners. So most of them were what? They were small landowners. Doddu land already, small landowners. And then there were men and women such as the Dasa, Karmakara, and who did not own land. So another set of men and women were such as the Dasa, Karmakara, who did not own the land. ಇವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ರಿ? ಇವರು ಬಡವರು, ಇವರಿಗೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಭೂಮಿ ಇಲ್ರಿ, ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಸ್ವಂತ ಭೂಮಿ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಚ್ ಜಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಇವ್ರದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಭೂಮಿ ಕೂಡ ಇವರಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಅವರು? ಕರ್ಮಕಾರ ಆರ್ ದ ದಾಸ, ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್, and had to earn a living working on the fields owned by others. See here, ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಕಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಅಂಶವನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿ ವೇರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಯಾರ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ರೀ? ತಮ್ಮದಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದೇ ವೇರ್ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮನಿ. ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಅಂಶವನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ ದೇರ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಮ್ ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಮಿತ್, ಪಾಟರ್, ಕಾರ್ಪೆಂಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೀವರ್. So in most villages there were also some craft persons ಯಾರಿ? such as the blacksmith, potter, carpenter and weaver, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರು. So the earliest Tamil positions, some of the earliest works in Tamil known as the Sangam literature were composed around 2300 years ago. The Sangam literature, it is so famous literature and it was composed what? 2300 years ago. These texts were called Sangam because they were supposed to have been composed and compiled in assemblies known as Sangamas of poets that were held in the city of Madurai. The Tamil terms mentioned above are found in the Sangam literature. So what we call them as Vellar and all, no, that is found here, where in the Tamil literature, where the group of poets, they had composed the texts. So these texts were called the Sangam. ಇವ್ರು ಏನೇನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಲ್ರಿ, ಪೋಯಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಪೋಯೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ರಿ, ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಪೋಯೆಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡಿ ಬರ್ದಂಥದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸಂಗಮ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮಧುರೈ. ಮಧುರೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಸಂಗಮ್ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, Finding about the city stories, travelers, culture and archaeology. Let us see. You have heard of the Jatakas. These were stories that were probably composed by ordinary people. So Jatakas, these are the stories which were probably composed by ordinary people. Ordinary people ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜನರು, ಕಾಮನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ರೈಟ್. And then written down and preserved by Buddhist monks. Then written down, ಬರೆದಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾರ್ರಿ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಂಕ್ಸ್ಗಳು. ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಜಟಕಾ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ which tells us how a poor man gradually became a rich. So here it is a Jataka story. Here it is a story written by a poor man. The clever poor man. Once upon a time there was a clever poor young man who lived in a city. So there was a city where there was a clever poor young man was living. His only resource was a dead rat. So his only resource was a dead rat. He started off by selling it for a coin to a hotel for their cat. So he was selling it for a coin. Coin ಅಂದ್ರೆ ₹1 ಕಾಯಿನಿಗೆ ಇವೇನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಓನರಿಗೆ ಬೆಕ್ಕಿನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಇವ, ಒಂದು ಸತ್ತಿದ ಇಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಅದು ಇವನೇನಿತ್ತು ರೀ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇತ್ತು, ರೈಟ್. ಇವ್ನ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಏನಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸತ್ತಿದ ಇಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಸತ್ತಿದ ಇಲಿ ಇವ ಒಂದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಓನರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಅವ್ರು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ದೇ ವರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಮ್ ₹1 ಕಾಯಿನ್, 1 ಕಾಯಿನ್, ರೈಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಮ್. The king's garden was littered with the branches and leaves, and the gardener was at loss as to how to clear the mess. So here what happened, once there was a storm andre birugali, right. Because of that the garden was littered. Garden became what it was littered. Littered means everywhere there were branches and leaves. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ branches leaves ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಉದುರಿ ಬಿದ್ದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. That time the gardener was at loss. He was feeling that now how I should clean this such a big garden, right. All this mess has happened. The young man offered to clean the garden if he could keep the woods and leaves. The gardener agreed at once. So what that boy said, the young man said that I will clean your garden, but you have to give me the woods and leaves that have been fallen on. Then what happens, the gardener at once said yes, take it off, it is all the mess here, you take it off. ಅದನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಬಿದ್ದಿದಂಥ ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ, ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್, ಮುರಿದಿದಂಥ ಟೊಂಗಿ ಒಣಗಿದ ಎಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿ, ನೀವು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರ, ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗು, ಈ ಸೈಡ್. The young man rounded up all the children who were playing with an offer of sweets for every stick and the leaf that they could collect. In no time every scrap had been neatly piled near the entrance. Just then the king's potter was on the lookout for fuel with which to bake his pots. So he took the whole lot and paid the young man for it. Here the young man told all the children who were playing, right. He told them, he offered the sweets for every stick, whatever the sticks and leaf they will bring, for that he will give them the sweet. So what, within no time when the children had cleared the whole garden, and there was a king's potter nearby, there was a king's potter who want to bake his pots, right. That time he was looking, that time the young man had told, had given all these dried leaves and branches to bake his pots. Our young man now thought of another plan. He carried a jar full of water to the city gate and offered water to 500 grass cutters. So what he did now, he took the water, he took a jar full of water to the city and offered water to what, 500 grass cutters. They were pleased and said, you have done us a good turn, tell us what we can do for you. So he gave water for whom? For 500 grass cutters he gave the water. Now the grass cutters told, what can we do for you? Because you have given the water which has thirst our, because of which they were all suffering from thirst. So their thirst is been satisfied. We have drank the water. We are satisfied. Now what we can do? So now then he replied, I will let you know when I need your help. So whenever I need your help, I will let you know. He replied. He then made friends with a trader. One day the trader told him, tomorrow a horse dealer is coming to town with 500 horses. Hearing this, our young man went back to the grass cutters. He said, please give me a bundle of grass each and don't sell your grass till mine is sold. They agreed and gave him 500 bundles of grass. When the horse dealer could not buy grass anywhere else, he purchased the young man grass for 1,000 coins. So here you can see that when he was walking, he met with the trader, his friend a trader. The trader told that tomorrow horse dealer is coming with the town with the 500 horses. Here then that what that young man did, he went to all the grass cutters and he told that don't sell your bunches of grass until and I tell you. And he purchased the 500 bundles. All the 500 people gave him 500 bundles of grass. When the horse dealer came to buy the grass, that time everyone said that we are not going to sell the grass. That time he went to the young man and the young man sold the grass for 1,000 coins. Here we can see we can use other kinds of evidence to find out about life in some of these early cities. Sculptors carved scenes depicted people's lives in towns and villages, as well as to decorate. Sculptors were used to decorate railings, pillars and gateways of buildings that were visited by the people. Here you can see this is all about the cleverness of a poor man. How by his cleverness he turned himself to a rich man. Right, this all shows about the cleverness of the young man. Once he was a poor man, but by his cleverness he turned himself to a rich man. These are the evidences of that. These are the things which have been referred in the story in those days only. This story was written around 3000 years ago. So here you can see other evidences where we can see that there are sculptors have carved the cities. Here the people were living in towns and villages. They, as well as in the forest, we can see lot of sculptures were used to decorate their railings, pillars and gateway buildings that were visited by the people. Here you can see here. This is the photograph where you can see how they have decorated the many of the cities. Many of the cities that developed from about 2500 years ago were the capitals of Mahajanapadas that you learned about in chapter 5. So these were the capital cities which were developed by whom? By the Mahajanapadas, right? Now let us see, some of these cities were surrounded by massive fortification walls. You can see here how these cities are surrounded by massive fortifications, kotegalu, and how they are very massive, very huge, very big walls were there, right? In many cities, archaeologists have found rows of pots or ceramic rings arranged one on top of the other. These are known as ring wells. So these were the ring wells. You can see the arrangement of the rings. These seem to have been used as toilets in some cases and as drains and garbage dumps. These ring wells are usually found in individual houses. So these ring wells, they are finding it in the individual houses. These they were using as the drain pumps, or they were using it as a toilets or the garbage dumps in those times. These ring wells were usually found where? In the individual houses. Individual means single houses. We have hardly any remains of palaces, markets, or of homes of ordinary people. So there were no evidences of the remains of the palaces. Palaces means big buildings, right? Mahalgalu, it was not there. Markets or of homes of the ordinary people were not there. Perhaps some are yet to be discovered by the archaeologists. Still the archaeologists have to discover these things. Others made of wood, mud, brick and thatched may not have survived. So others which have been made by the wood, mud, brick and thatched had already not survived, because in the a lot of natural disasters it might have blown away. Another way of finding out about early cities is from the accounts of the sailors and travelers who visited them. So other findings we can find it from the accounts of whom? From the sailors. Sailors means who come to trade in the form of ships from one country to the another country, and travelers who are visiting. They are moving from one country to the another country. So from their accounts we can come to know about these things. One of the most detailed account that has been found by an unknown Greek sailor, he described all the ports he visited. So he has described all the ports he had visited. Here you can see in the photo a sculpture from Sanchi. This is a sculpture from Sanchi, a site with stupas in Madhya Pradesh, showing the scene in a city. So in those days how the city was, that was shown by these stupas, the wall of the stupas. You will learn more about Sanchi in chapter 11. Notice the way walls are shown. Are they made of brick, wood or stone? Now look at the railings. Are they made of wood? Describe the roofs of the building. Here you can see here, this is how they were made. Right, next one is the punch marked coins and the story of Bargeza. Let us see here. The Greek name Bauruch. The gulf is a very narrow at Barigaza and very hard to navigate for those coming from the sea. So this gulf is very narrow, means small place, like this small, like this narrow Uddukhuntetri, and very hard to navigate for those coming from the sea, means from the ship route who are coming, it is impossible for them to come. Ships had to be steered in by skillful and experienced local fishermen who were employed by the king. So if you want to do the shipping, they should be skillful and experienced local fishermen should be there in order to do the shipping, who are employed by whom? By the king itself. The imports into the Barigaza were wine, copper, tin, lead, coral, topaz, cloth, gold and silver coins. So what they were importing? They were importing the wine, means they were bringing it from the other countries to their country, to the Greek. That is the wine, copper, tin, lead, coral, topaz, cloth, gold and silver coins. Exports from the town included plants from the Himalayas, ivory, agate, carnelian, cotton, silk and perfumes. So these were the exports. We were exporting it from where? From the Himalayas, ivory, agate, carnelian, cotton, silk and perfume. Special gifts were bought by merchants for the king. These included the vessels of silver, singing boys, beautiful women, fine wines and fine cloth. So these were the special gifts which were given by the merchants for the king. So these included the vessels of what? Silver, singing boys, beautiful women, fine wines and fine cloth were given to the kings in order to impress the king, for the make their trade successful, in order to have the trade relationship between the two different kings. So then, in order to improve their exports and imports, these were the gifts given by the other kings to the another kings. Punch marked coins. Punched marked coins were generally rectangular or sometimes square or round in shape. So however the coins, sometimes they were rectangular shape, sometimes they were of the round shape, either cut or of metal sheets. So they were, sometimes they were cut, and sometimes what they were having the metal sheets were there. Metal of sheets are made up of flattened metal globules, a small spherical body. Here you can see in the photo it is given. This is a small spherical shaped body. The coins were not inscribed. The coins were not inscribed means nothing was written on the coins, but were stamped with the symbols using dies or punches. So what they were doing, they used to stamp, they used to put like this seal, right? Right, so they were called as the punched marked coins. These coins are found over most parts of the subcontinent and remained in circulation till the early centuries. So in the early centuries, we saw that these coins were in the circulation. So coins, let us see coins. You have noticed how wealth is measured in terms of coins in the story on page 82. Archaeologists have found several thousands of coins belonging to this period. So archaeologists have found what? Several thousands of coins were belonging to this period. The earliest coins which were in use for about 500 years were punch marked coins, such as one shown below. So the archaeologists have found that several thousands of coins were there which were belonging to what? 500 years ago. And what they were called? Punch coins. They were called as the punch coins. So next we will see other means of exchange. Read this short poem from the Sangam collection. As they carry the white paddy of their land to exchange it for salt of another, crossing the long roads in carts, through sands white as moonlight, taking whole families who hate to be left behind, the departure of the salt merchants leaves the city empty. Salt was produced plentifully along the sea coast. See here, the merchants are exchanging, according to this poem, according to the Sangam collection short poem, they are exchanging the white paddy, means for white rice they are exchanging the salt of another, where they are crossing the long roads in carts. In carts means in bullock carts, they are traveling through the sands white as moonlight. From the sand to moonlight they are traveling, taking whole families. They are taking the whole family and they are traveling because they hate them to be left behind. So those people who are left behind, they are hating, they don't like to remain behind, they want to come with them. So the departure of the salt merchants leaves the city empty. So it makes the city empty. The merchants, the salt merchants, they move from city to city carrying what? White salt. They give the salt to the farmers, and farmers give them what? Give them the paddy which they had grown. So this is how all about the things which had done in the early cities or early important villages. We had seen what who lived in the villages. There were only three kinds of people who were living in the villages. One was the farmers, zamindars and small landowners, and there were the servants who were living in the what we can see in the villages, and who were traveling. It is told about the cities. There were the findings about the cities, about the stories about the travelers' culture, and we saw there were the archaeology. Here you can see how the buildings, how the walls were there in those days, and how the coins were there. There were punch coins. On that coins, some were only simple sheet of the copper papers were there, but there were some punch marked coins, means something seal. They used to put some design seal, they used to put on the coins. Like that, their coins were used in all the important cities in those days. And we saw the archaeologist, and how was the irrigation carried out. It was tank, well, canal irrigations, and artificial lakes were made in order to carry out the irrigations. And how was the drainage system for the individual houses. There were ring wells were formed in order to use it for the drainages. For toilets they were using where in the individual houses, and the houses were built of the mud, wood and the mud bricks, right? So all these were found in the olden cities of the 3000 years ago in the history. Okay, thank you children. Further things we will carry out in tomorrow's class, next class.